Don't get a language partner if you're serious about learning a language. Now you might say, but Christian, it's such a wonderful way to practice conversation and you can make friends at the same time. True, but as someone who's had several language partners during my own language learning journey, it's just not something I'd recommend. So let's talk about the pitfalls, how to possibly make language exchange work, and what I'd recommend doing instead. A big issue of language exchange is that it's just not suitable for beginners. Language exchange is living from conversation. And how can you talk about anything meaningful if you just know a few words? Your language partner might teach you a few new expressions or funny swear words, but that's about it. And I made that mistake when learning Arabic. I just started by messaging some people on HelloTalk and tried to talk to them. But my Arabic was so basic that we switched to English really fast. So to make that work, you need to be really experienced in language learning to be able to structure your own sessions, or you need to have a partner with teaching experience. But that's rarely the case. Second, language exchange requires a high degree of discipline. When meeting in person, you have to make sure to not just hang out, but actually study, and you need to commit to regular study sessions. You also have to make sure that everyone gets equal speaking time. But then life happens, one of you gets busy, motivation drops, and before you know it, your language exchange turns into the occasional chat in English. There's just so much friction. Third, language exchange simply is inefficient. Say you have 10 hours for studying. Wouldn't it be smarter to invest all that time into your own language learning instead of splitting it in half and teaching for 5 hours? Of course, it can be a rewarding experience, but is it really worth it? So how can you make language exchange work? I say both of you need to be at least intermediate levels, and it's also important that your levels are not too different so you minimize the risk of speaking one language only. You need to have clear rules like setting a timer for 10 minutes speaking language A and then speaking language B for another 10 minutes. And you have to avoid English at all costs. If these conditions are met and you don't mind losing a bit of efficiency, language exchanges can be fun and motivating. Still, there are other things I'd recommend you do. In my opinion, comprehension is one of the most important skills when it comes to learning a language. And you can get so far on your own building that up. Watch comprehensible input YouTube videos, for example. You'll be amazed at how much you understand over time. And then if you want to practice speaking, you can ease your way into it by writing, doing monologues, or talking to an AI tutor. And when it comes to interacting with natives, I'd recommend you'd rather try to make friends instead of looking for a language partner. If you have a certain level of fluency, the native speakers won't mind speaking your target language only. But you have to make sure that not every conversation turns into a study session. Last but not least, you should consider getting a teacher or tutor. Taking classes gives you structure and routine, and all of that time will be dedicated to your own language learning. Also, there are a lot of affordable options on platforms like italki or Preply. So that was my take on language partners. Do you agree, or do you have good experience with them? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.